Today, I'm going to check out these ND filters for my Osmo Action 4. I still don't know which one I'm going to end up using today, but let's get outside. We'll go down that way later. Today, I'm going to go this way. Whoa, it's a little swampy in here. Oh, here's a little spot right here. Let's check this out. These are, one thing about these is that they're steeper in person than they look on camera. This isn't the steepest by any means, but if you look up there, it doesn't look too bad. I would say that is about maybe a 50-degree steepness. And I don't know what it looks like on camera, but I don't think it looks like that. It looks like probably 30 degrees or so. Yeah, we're going a little higher ground up here. You can see the path down there. It's kind of cool. I think I may have been up this path once before, a few years back. Maybe not though. Some of them look similar, so hard to say. Either way, it's a nice experience. Under the canopy, it's nice too, because then you're a little cooler than when you're down there completely exposed to the sun. Now this drop is almost 90 degrees. Probably like 85-degree drop right there. I don't know if you can see that. And over there is the path, the asphalt path, or the bike path, I guess you could call it. But it's pretty far down there. Doesn't look it on camera necessarily, but it is. Whoa. I better not look at the camera too much because, again, look right here. Don't know if you can see this, but there's the path and then it drops off right there. About 85-degree drop, almost 90-degree drop there. So, you wouldn't want to fall down there. Although there's a lot of tree roots and everything, I'm sure. As you were scrambling your way down, you could grab onto something to stop the fall, if you're thinking quick enough. This is kind of funny. Somebody made their own little path. Maybe they didn't, but maybe it was just laid down there like that. But it looks like somebody came in with a chainsaw and chopped a section out of it so we could continue walking, which is probably what happened. I've actually seen the city people come through here. It's a conservation area. So they're not really supposed to maintain it or do much with it, but they will come in with chainsaws every once in a while, I guess just for safety's sake, cut off dead pieces and haul them out of here. Well, I'm out at the golf course over here. Okay. I'm not trying to be on the golf course right now, but Let's see if this takes me back down into the path. I'm sure it does. Yeah, it looks like we're going back on the path over here. So the wildlife I see out here sometimes is a little surprising. Of course, tons of different kinds of ducks and geese. That's kind of typical anywhere in Canada, even in the cities. But we actually, every year, I think it's only the exact same bird. There's like some kind of a crane, and it's huge. It's got like a 7 or 8 foot wingspan, and it's always down in the creek usually over in this area. So if we get lucky, and if it's here this year, we'll see him again. He never lets you get too close. He could be a she, I don't know. But they never let you get too close before it flies off real quick. And just the other day, actually I'll insert a little clip of that here. I ran across a deer. Pretty big one too. I still kind of kept my distance because you never know, it could maybe not want to hurt me, but when it jumps or whatever, if it hits me. This is actually, I'm going to show you what I'm looking at here. Get back a little bit. Okay. Somebody built this little bridge here. I'm going to try and walk across it. Yeah. Built pretty solid, actually. I don't know why there's a bridge there. There's no water or anything under it. Maybe they buried a dead body under it. I don't know. Me, in my infinite wisdom, I wore these shoes again. These things cost me a couple $100, so I don't really want to destroy them. Actually, do I really care? They're super comfortable for these kind of hikes. I guess, you know what? I'm just going to forfeit them. I will use them for these hikes, and if they get destroyed, they get destroyed. It'll just be the aesthetics of them destroyed. They'll still work well, I'm sure. Shoes are made for a purpose, right? Not only to look good. Wonder how far this selfie stick will go out. Oh yeah. I don't know if you see the selfie stick in the shot there, probably. Almost like a drone shot there. A couple ways to go on the path. I'm veering to the left here, hoping, well, I guess that could be a path down. Not the greatest one. We'll continue. Like I kind of alluded to in the last video, I think this spot will be amazing for doing some short films. Maybe some post-apocalyptic stuff, or, you know, fugitive on the run kind of stuff. Or maybe just some other kind of narrative story in the woods. I guess that brings up the idea of like a horror flick or something, which is not very scary feeling here right now, but I'm sure when it gets a little dark. But then how would you get all the lights in here, right? You'd have to, I don't know. Who knows? Ooh, this looks a little bit better. Again, this is probably about a 35-degree steep angle here going down, so pretty walkable. Ooh. It's forcing me to go a little fast, though. Ooh. See how the stabilization works through this. Okay, that took me straight down. Nice, and dry too. I'm gonna go through here. Okay, I don't have to walk that fast. Slow it down a bit. on these videos, it's kind of forcing me to explore a little more. I've lived right next to this place for probably just slightly over 10 years. And haven't quite ventured out this far on the paths yet. So again, here's another thing with how the camera lies a little bit. That cliff looking thing right here, that wall, has got to be 100 feet. I don't think it looks that big on camera. It's huge. Ooh, that's kind of cool over there. There's a little inlet, or I guess outlet. That's where the water's coming from too. So looks a little like it goes up a little bit. The elevation's a little higher over there. All over this place there are little fire pits. Not a lot of garbage there, but there's a little. It's not that nice to see, but for the most part, people keep it fairly clean over here. Let's see if I can find a path. Also, I should talk about the configuration I have going here. I'm shooting on the DJI Osmo Action 4 camera with the selfie stick that it comes with. And actually I have the black mist filter on here as well, and an ND16, just to see if we can smooth out some of the motion a little bit there. Seems to be more in shade on this side, so I guess we'll see if the ND16 is killing us. In those kind of scenarios, I know it's great in the brighter sunlight. In fact, it could probably go up to ND64 in the brighter sunlight, but we'll manage with a little bit slower shutter speed using the ND filter on this, which is great. I'm not a fan of tall grass like that because I'm not a fan of snakes. And there are snakes out here, but nothing poisonous that I know of. There are some different kinds of water snakes in here too, I have seen. But no rattlesnakes or anything like that. I feel like I'm gridlocked in over here. See if I can get through this. Any prickles? Okay, so far so good. This looks like there's been some beavers here or something. Ugh. Or it could be just when the water level's that high, it just kind of bunches up like that. I don't know. But I know, and you all know, Canada has a problem with beaver, and not the good kind. Okay, well, I got free of that spot over there that was kind of trapping me in. I don't know how interesting any of this is. If it's not, I will cut it out. Okay, so I have been to this spot quite a bit, so this is not necessarily new territory, but I haven't shown you this. I don't know if there's any landmarks that are worth actually looking at, but can't remember, but I have been through this area. But have a look at this little path here. It's kind of cool. I like going through the more natural path. And people just finding their little spot to relax, which is nice. It's just so wide open, and it's such a vast space that it's nice that you can find your own little hideaway and really have the odd passerby, but for the most part, you're on your own. And so I just love this spot because it feels like you're deep in the woods somewhere. Like if you look this way, it doesn't feel like you're anywhere near a city at all. Meanwhile, we're right in it. And that's the nice thing about these Canadian protected spaces. It's, they can never build anything on these spaces without a major fight on their hands. But yeah, we value our nature. Actually, let's go down this way. And I will be interested to see how the ND filter slowing down that shutter speed is working out for me here. Hopefully it's giving us a nice smooth motion. Again, my only worry is when I come into the shade here, if it's getting too noisy. Not audio noise, but just too grainy of an image because of the ND filter knocking down the exposure so much. So this is a nice spot. Another fire pit here. Nice big long picnic table. Unfortunately, somebody left their garbage behind. What else? Tim Hortons. So many interesting little spots over here. There are some bugs, not much, but a little. And even though I've been this far out many times before, I've never been to those couple of spots that we just saw. Another fire pit down there. A nice little rocky path out here. And right down there is that bridge that we were at last video, and also the bridge that we walked across in this video. There's a road overpass over here. I don't know what road that is. And probably a lot more to see down that direction. I don't know how far I'll go today, but we'll check. Looks like some kind of a solar panel there. I don't know what that's for. I don't think I want to walk in that. Perfect spot for a zombie movie. I know The Walking Dead is filmed in Atlanta, but if anyone from Atlanta is out there, can you tell me, does this look kind of like some of your backwoods spaces? I don't know, it gives me that vibe from what I've seen. I've never been, but from what I've seen on TV and different movies. Oh, the path goes, it looks like it goes up to the road and it also goes under the underpass. It's BS. Guess someone ran right into that mirror. Like they say, you go to whatever you look at. So probably someone was looking at themselves. See what vanity does? Yeah, I said Atlanta earlier when I was asking whether this kind of had those vibes. Clearly not Atlanta, the city. What I meant is Georgia. If there's some spots in Georgia that kind of have this vibe to it, let me know. Just curious. Okay, I think that's about it. I'm gonna call it right there, and it's all gonna look the same on the way back, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. Anyway, thank you so much again for joining me on this one, and I will see you in the next one.